President Trump lit up the internet after this tweet that questioned climate change.
So the president tweeted this, quote, "In the East, it could be the coldest New Year's Eve on record. Perhaps we could use a little bit of that good old global warming that our country, but not other countries, was going to pay trillions of dollars to protect against. Bundle up." Well, Nick Bond, a climatologist with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association and a scientist at the UW, is joining us right now to talk about this. What's your reaction to that tweet?
Well, I'm not sure if I should dignify it with a response, but I guess I am. It's basically silly. He's conflating the weather variability in all its glory to the climate, which is, changing on much longer timescales and a slower process.
Right. I heard one climate scientist say on the internet, it was like saying that, well, we don't have hunger in the world because I just had a Big Mac.
It's exactly the
Would that be sort of the same analogy?
Yeah, that's right. And if you're talking about records, in the last year in the United States, there's been 3 times as many hot temperature records as cold temperature records. And so, just the argument doesn't hold any water.
So the tweet there seems to kind of confuse the difference between weather and climate. Can you kind of explain the difference and also explain these maps that you brought?
Yeah. The weather is just, the day-to-day conditions, temperature, winds, precipitation, and so forth. And the climate is much more the kind of averages there that over much longer time scales. And so we are going to continue to have these variations in the weather, cold spells and warm spells. There's going to continue to be winter seasons where it gets colder and summers where it gets hotter. But we're seeing the overall trend in temperatures, of course. And, mentioning a map here, just showing and hopefully that's reasonably clear, that the temperatures across the United States relative to normal for this year to date, and all the yellows and oranges show where it's been warmer than normal.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out our little corner of the country is the one place where it's been just a tiny bit on the cool side. But boy, across the U.S., there's a lot more yellows and reds than greens.
Right. Are these periods of extreme cold and extreme amounts of snow, is that also part of global warming?
Well, there's actually some research into that, just about how much the changes in the climate are affecting the variability in the weather. And so that hasn't been settled, but there's some tentative evidence that perhaps what's going on in the Arctic is affecting weather patterns down at our latitudes. That's far from settled, but it's safe to say we're going to continue to have these variations in the weather, and obviously we can get snow around here, mm-hmm. and obviously the Earth is going to continue to tilt on its axis, and so, there's still going to be weather.
Tell me this, when you have the President of the United States tweeting this out, what's the message, the overall theme, the message that it sends to people who read the tweet or people who hear about it?
Well, of course, it can lead to confusion, I think, and that's too bad about, well, this must disprove global warming or something like that. And I don't see how it's helpful in any way, really.
Right. Nick Bond, thank you so much. This was a great conversation. We appreciate you stopping by.